Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'll be showing you how I made this, what I'm calling a patchwork pumpkin. So what I have are these strips of fabric that are on a jelly roll, I believe, and I'm using pinking shears to cut these into little squares. I believe I got this material from Michael's a few years back. Either that or Walmart. So it was just a fall package of material that was cut in a jelly roll. If you know what that is long strips of fabric. So I have several different designs. Some plaid, some pumpkins, some with turkeys on it. So I think I have 5 or 6 strips that I cut into squares. And then this pumpkin I got from Hobby Lobby a couple years ago after Thanksgiving when everything was 90% off. And I'm going to use my homemade Mod Podge, which is 2 cups of either Elmer's all-purpose glue or Elmer's school glue with a half a cup of water. And it's much like the matte Mod Podge that you buy at the store. So I'm just putting my Mod Podge on my pumpkin and laying my piece of material down and then putting the Mod Podge over top of the material. And the first layer I go around the top of the pumpkin, and I don't put any on the stem. And I do use a generous amount of my homemade Mod Podge because it does seep through the fabric. And this is a pretty big size pumpkin here. And it is paper mache. So it's kind of funny that I'm putting Mod Podging material on it since it's, already paper mache. Anyway, I kind of saw the irony in that. I do make sure that my material adheres really well to the pumpkin, like especially where the kind of crannies are, around the pumpkin there. I want to get it down in there, in the grooves, I guess you could call it. That's the piece of material that has turkeys on it. Maybe not on that piece, but it does have turkeys on it. So some orange and white plaid, some brown with turkeys on it, some orange with just pumpkins on it, and then some white with pumpkins and other stuff on it. So very fallish materials. So once I go all around the stem for the first layer, I'm going to continue down the pumpkin, and I make sure to overlap my materials so none of the paper mache shows through. So I did speed this up to about 3.5 times, and you can just watch me put the material on the pumpkin, or you can fast forward through this and not watch it. I just thought, some people might want to see how I actually put the material on the whole pumpkin. When I bought this pumpkin, I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I think putting this material on it was a pretty good idea, if I do say so myself. I hate it when the camera goes out of focus. It drives me bonkers. So this does go pretty quickly. I mean, it does take a little bit of time, but it went quicker than I thought it would. So it wasn't too bad. Kind of looks like maybe it's quilted. And you can put your fabric on, and there I'm just showing you, it was $14.99, but with 90% off, it was $1.50. So not bad, because that's a pretty good sized pumpkin. I mean, you could do this with the pumpkins you get from the Dollar Tree. Either the white ones or the orange ones that are $1.25. And it wouldn't take as much material also, and you'd still get the same look. And you can put your material on, you know, sideways, like in a diamond shape, or, you know, whatever way you want to. Most of mine were kind of up and down, but they don't have to be. So I'm already over halfway done with this. I try not to put two pieces together that are the same pattern, but sometimes that didn't work out. It still looked okay. And once I got finished with it, I still had several pieces of the material left over. I just put that aside to use later on. Certainly not going to throw it away. And you want to make sure that all the sides of your material is adhering to the pumpkin. If you see a piece that's sticking up, you want to add some more Mod Podge to it. sunflower material. Some pumpkin and sunflower material, and then some turkey material, some pumpkin material, some plaid. It's all very fallish. And if you can find like fall material in Dollar Tree, you can also use that. But I think it's best to get several different pieces of fabric that have different designs on them. Almost done going around the pumpkin itself, and then I'll be doing the bottom. So this was the part that took the longest in doing this pumpkin. Now I'll just have to do the bottom, doing it the same way. There almost had two of the plaid ones together, but I do put one in between it, the sunflowers there. So it doesn't really look like they're side by side. So that's good. So you do want to make sure you cover the top of your material with your Mod Podge. And be generous. It'll get hard once it dries. And now I just have one more piece to add to it. Yay, we're done with that. So what I did was I just turned it upside down since I did the top of it first, and let it dry it overnight. So this is it right after I did my Mod Podging, and I saw a couple spots that weren't, that were kind of poking up from the pumpkin. So I just added a little bit more Mod Podge to it to get them to lay down. And this is the next day. So everything's dried and it's hard. And I have this ribbon, and I'm sure it is from the Dollar Tree. However, I got mine from the Goodwill store. It was like a bag of a bunch of it. So I was happy about that. I think it was about $3. And it had a whole bag of this and some other ribbons from the Dollar Tree. I'm sure it was from somebody who does crafting. But I was happy to find it. And I thought this ribbon here, kind of burlappy with some jute kind of going around it, I thought it would go really well with my pumpkin here. So I'm just hot gluing it down, going up to the stem and then bringing it down to the bottom. And for this first piece, I'm going to take it all the way across to the other side. And I'm just putting it in the grooves of the pumpkin. And I do use my little makeup silicone, thing there to press the ribbon down, because the hot glue will kind of ooze out of it. And, you know, every time I use a hot glue gun, I burn myself because this particular glue gun, I mean, the glue gets extremely hot, and I have had countless blisters. Like every time I use it, I get a blister. So I didn't get a blister this time. Yay. I used my silicone little makeup thingy, and I did get that from the Dollar Tree. But you can probably get those anywhere. So I'm taking this ribbon all the way up to the stem, and then I'm just going to cut it off, and then I'll go to another portion where it is indented. And then I'm not going to go all the way across to the other side. I'm going to end it at where this ribbon ends on the bottom, because I don't want to build up my bottom so much that my pumpkin can't sit flat. And if I were to take it from one side to the other side, it would just build up that bottom, and then my pumpkin would probably rock, and I don't want that. So when I get it down to the bottom, I'll just cut it off, and I'll do that for each and every one of them from this point on. And I put my hot glue about halfway down, and glue that, and then do the rest of it. So I do it in sections, and then just cut off the end, and then go to the next one. And I just keep doing that until I get all of those filled in with the ribbon. I thought this ribbon went really good with it because it would fit into those indented sections there. The ribbon was the perfect size for it. And I did use one complete roll and then a little bit of another roll. And there it is. So it did come from the Dollar Tree, but like I said, I did get it from the Goodwill. And it was actually a decent price, which is surprising considering the prices that they have on their stuff now. Which is amazing to me since, you know, everything gets donated to them. So it's not like they have overhead on the items because they're not even buying them. I mean, I know it's a business and they have to make some money, but they're supposed to be a nonprofit. Anyway, enough of that. So there it is. I have my my fabric on there and my ribbon on there. And now we're going to work with the stem. So I have this cardboard, and you can see like the peaks and the valleys on it. That's going to be the outside of my stem there. And I'm just going to hot glue it around my stem. And we're going to make a bigger stem. So what I do is I put hot glue on the stem itself. Just put it all the way around. Kind of going in a zigzag pattern. Or maybe a circular pattern. I don't know. Swirl, whatever. I just go all the way around the stem. I don't put any on the top because it's not going to be touching the top. Excuse me, because it's not going to be touching the top. And then I glue the ends of my cardboard together down there at the bottom. I Maybe I should have glued it all the way from the bottom to the top, but I didn't. And then I just squeeze it together and then turn it. And it does break up a little bit, but I think that just kind of makes it look even more like a pumpkin stem. So you can kind of see the tears in it. It didn't break all the way through. But I think this looks pretty good as far as looking like a pumpkin stem. Or as a lot of crafters say, a peduncle. Wonder who came up with that term. It's kind of a weird thing, right? And anyway, I just put a little bit of hot glue on the end of it and kind of squish it together because I want it to stay together, the end of it. It's staying twisted pretty good, actually. Now what I'm going to do is take these metallic paints and I'm going to start painting the stem. Now I don't want to completely cover up the cardboard, but I'm just taking my fan brush and a little bit of the paint and I'm just kind of brushing it lightly on, starting at the bottom and then going up to the tip of it. Very lightly though. You don't really see a whole lot of the paint. And this is a brown metallic paint. I don't know the exact name of the color. I did get it at Hobby Lobby. Now I'm going to use another metallic paint. This one in the color Rose Gold. And I just try to put just a little bit of paint down. I'm using the same fan brush. I didn't wash it or anything like that after the other one. And I just dip it in there and just lightly brush it on my stem. Just doing the same thing that I did with the brown metallic paint. And this is the rose gold metallic paint. And all of these are Deco Art. And they don't cost too awful much. They're like $1.89 a piece at Hobby Lobby. I don't know. Do they ever put their paints on sale like they do everything else? Let me know in the comments if you know the answer to that question. This is the copper metallic paint. It's pretty bright. I was having a hard time getting it out. There it is, but look how bright that is. Woo! Pretty bright. Copper is one of my favorite colors, or metals, or whatever you want to call it. But this copper, you know, it's a little bright. I think the rose gold is closer to actual copper metal than this copper color is. And again, I did not clean the brush. And then my last one is this gold metallic. And yeah, I got a little bit much of it out. I had to put some of it back in the bottle. So again, same thing, doing it the same way, working from the bottom up to the tip of it, just with my fan brush. I didn't wash it off or anything like that. And I think the stem turned out pretty good. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments. Did I do okay with the stem, the peduncle? Or would you have used some other material for it? I was just looking around my craft room and I saw that cardboard and I thought it would be good for the stem. And now I have some white pipberry garland that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap it around my stem. I did curl it on the end of that makeup brush thingy that you see right there laying there. I went around the handle with it, and I'm just going to hot glue it to my stem. And I do take it all the way around the stem, and I crisscross the swirlies with each other. I overlap them. And now I have some Spanish moss that I got from the Dollar Tree who knows how long ago. I just remembered to look in a certain box and I found it and I was like, oh, I didn't even know I had this, because I had just bought some from Michael's. You can't even, the one you get now from the Dollar Tree, if you can find it, and I can't even find it at Hobby Lobby, is I don't know, it looks weird. It doesn't look the same. So I got me a big bag, 24 ounces from Michael's, and I actually ordered it online to pick up at the store, and I got them for $6.99. So I thought that was a good deal. It was 30% off, and then because I get to use my, not rewards, but because I'm military, then I get an additional discount. So it's $9.99 in the store, and I actually got a bag of it for $6.99. So I thought that was pretty good. I do end up hot gluing my stem down to my pumpkin. I didn't like it sticking up like it was. So I just put a little hot glue on it and then put it down on my pumpkin. I'm just holding it there until it sets up. And then I'll continue on with my decorating. So what I have is some raffia. And I just made a bow out of it, just like a shoestring bow. And I'm going to put it in between where my pipberry curlicues are. I'm going to trim up my bow a little bit and then just hot glue it onto my pumpkin. And I want to make sure that it sticks to the pumpkin and not just the moss. So I'm going to hold it there for a little bit. And there it is. There's my bow, my pipberries, my stem, my patchwork pumpkin. Let me know what you think. And here's a couple pictures of it sitting on my table. And again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if y'all like what you see, give me a thumbs up and a comment. And if you'd like to subscribe, please do so. But if not, that's okay. Bye.